Hello everybody, welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, with another adventure here on Orpheus Plays. We're playing Blade and Sorcery today. We're in the PC mode, and boy, we're sitting out here outside the marketplace just taking in all the sights and everything. I hope you're doing well wherever you are today, whether it is day or night, or you're just realizing that you can't get a date. And it's a Friday night. You might guess that today I want to talk about something kind of interesting, and it is this. What the hell is an incel? You know? Anyway, let's get to that in just a second. Let's see what we've got here today. We have our Brazil nut sword. I could guess where you're supposed to stick that. Ika la 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 ka la la la. Okay, well, that's interesting. And a cudgel. Yes, a wooden stick. Let's go for the nut sword. Am I the only one who thinks this is kind of funny? Anyway, let's get things going. It is a wonderful day for murder here in the marketplace on Blade and Sorcery. And let's get our first victim out here for our first traditional slow motion kill of the day. Let's get it out of the way here. Oh, he missed. Right in the face. Oh, let's make sure it's right on there. Oh, no. Oh, good lord. That is absolutely awful and yet so epic at the same time. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is a Brazilian nut sword. Oh, and he is also our drama queen of the day. Guy just refused to get off screen. Ding, 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 ding. Anyway, so now with that out of the way. Hey, how you doing? So, I like to watch true crime documentaries a lot. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do. And, like, interrogation footage and things like that. And I was coming across some ones lately. And I know I'm late to the party on this one. But, it's of a guy named Alex Manassian. And this guy is probably the most crazy guy I've ever seen in one of these interrogation videos. Because he's so cold about what he talks about, right? Everything that he talks about is like, well, and then I went and I rented a rental van and I went and ran over all these people and I did it because why? Well, because he identifies as an incel. Now, what the hell is an incel? Well, the term goes like this. Involuntarily celibate. Oh, I missed. Involuntarily celibate. Now, what does that mean? Obviously, we all know what the word celibate means, which means that you don't have any relations with anybody, right? Well, involuntarily celibate implies that you're celibate, but it's not your fault, right? Well, how could that happen? Well, we'll get into that. Now, I've seen that there are forums and like Discord servers and Reddit threads and everything that are completely dedicated to this concept of an incel. And I think it's interesting because all of them kind of congregate. Little twist. Oh no. All of them seem to congregate inside of sort of the same areas, and it turns into sort of this weird echo chamber, right? Where everyone's views and opinions and everything are just completely validated by everybody else's. And it seems like it's this never-ending circle of them going, I can't get a date, I'm still a virgin, and so therefore, something's wrong. Well, here's the part about incels that I just do not get. Here it is. Ooh, this is... What is this? An offering sword. I'm going to be offering a lot of body parts with this thing. Anyway, so rather than getting to the point where you're like, I am not a person that people want to go on a date with, or for some reason I can't lose my virginity. Wow, I can't lose my virginity, right? For some reason, and I think we all put way too much of a I don't know, we make it way too important to lose our virginity, because, look, I get it. Okay, I get it, excuse me. I know that, it can be difficult to find a mate. I know it can be difficult to get on a date with somebody, especially these days, right? We'll talk about in a second why I think it's so hard for people to actually get a date and do stuff these days. But the part that fascinates me about incels is they don't just talk about how they can't get a date and how they can't lose their virginity, right? The other part that comes along with this is the abject hatred for the other person, right? You do not see female incels, okay? I'll just put that right now. You don't see any ladies or anything except for men who are saying, oh, I'm an incel, I'm involuntarily celibate. Well, here's the part that always kind of gets me. They're not mad at themselves. They're not looking to figure out what's going on with their own, they're not trying to figure out what's going on with their own life, right? Their problem is they think that other people called chads, which are, people that have sex, chads are the reason that they can't get any loving in the bedroom. And so they go into this thing where they're just like total abject hatred of anyone that won't sleep with them, right? So they think that all the women in the world are being wasted on these chads and breeding with these chads. And of course, a chad is, like I said, any male that's getting nookie that's not that person is a chad. And this thing with Alex Manassian that really fascinates... Wow. Okay, bro, you just kind of missed. The thing that really fascinates me with Alex Manassian's case, like, specifically, is he talks about how, there should be a program where, like, all the chads get killed. They just round up all these guys that they think are handsome and hot, and they get them all in the same place, and then they kind of just either put them in a concentration camp or just outright kill them, right? And then they say, well, all of the women will be brought to us like, I don't know, like medieval kings style, where it's like, they just parade in all the ladies for these guys to do something with. Nice try there, bro. Bro. But, like, the idea is that they'll parade in all the ladies like it's some sort of buffet, right? And all these incels will get to choose which ones they like. Ooh, a little poke in the face there. They'll be able to choose which ones they like and do their own selective breeding programs and everything. Well, I don't get it because, let's explore why someone might be an incel in the first place, okay? So, ooh, that has been quite helpful this round. Anyway, let's explore what makes an incel in the first place. Okay. Well, you might think that it has to do with they're just not getting dates, and they're just not having enough relations, obviously, in order to get rid of their virginity. Well, here's the thing. A lot of the incels that I've come across, whether online or I've met a few in person, boy, are they interesting people to deal with. But a couple of the ones that I've seen, they're just not the kind of person that you'd want to go on a date with. Like they're usually very mean. They're not very socially adept. Ooh, wow. They're not very socially adept, and so they go out in public and they just kind of act awkward and weird. Well, okay. There's a lot of reasons that this can happen. Take that, bro. Huh, let's finish him off this way. Old gangsta way. You'll never catch me, copper. How about you? You'll never catch me either. Ah! Yeah, see? Meh. Anyway, so it's like this. The people that are like that, there are specific reasons, and one of them goes like this. None of us really spend a lot of time these days dealing... Field goal! None of us spend a lot of time these days, like, actually interacting with people on a one-to-one personal face-to-face basis, right? Most of it is online these days. And so, when you're online, you tend to kind of, I don't know, you live an exaggerated version of yourself. So if you are an angry person, online, you're going to be a really angry person. If you're a nice person, you're probably posting cat memes and other friendly things. Oh, God. That had to hurt. You're probably, posting friendly cat memes and stuff like that online. And everyone needs to get along and love each other and all that stuff. And I love that kind of thing with people, right? You can definitely be who you want to be online. The problem is when people get to the point where they think that everyone else thinks the way that they do. Oh, no. When they think everyone else thinks the way that they do. when they think that everybody else has the same kind of ideas that they do and implicitly agree with them. And not only that, they think that it's the worldview, what everybody thinks, because they're in one of those echo chambers, right? Boy, that was clean. But you kind of think when you're one of these folks that everybody in the world thinks the same way, or at the very least, you think that this is a sensible way of existing because you're getting so much confirmation in the groups of people that you associate with, right? And so online behavior, oh look, brains, come here. Oh, I want to eat the brains. Nom nom nom. But I think it's because of that confirmation bias that people are under this idea that they're right no matter what, right? And with an incel, that means that they echo each other and say, yeah, we're perfect gentlemen, absolutely perfect gentlemen. This is a thing that I see a lot. That incels always think that they're these perfect gentlemen. And not just that, they think that they are so perfect that other people should not be allowed to have access to the women that they think are worthy of their love, right? So of their seed, as it were, which is gross, but whatever. So part of the problem is these folks aren't necessarily celibate because they're just, unattractive people. As a matter of fact, a lot of them happen to be kind of attractive. The problem is low self-esteem. The problem is that they have this hatred that they translate because instead of, okay, look, when I was growing up, the idea of clean as butter, the idea when I was growing up that you were a virgin, I mean, it was a big deal in society, right? Oh, you're a virgin, snicker, snicker, snicker. Well, these days, does it really matter? Like, I love this thing, the ox mace. This thing just pounds people into the ground. This is awesome. You'll see this in a second. But do we really need to worry about those things anymore? Is that really... I mean, look, like I said, we're in a society where people don't really interact with each other face to face. Oh, no. But what that does, I think, is it makes it that we have unrealistic expectations about the people around us, right? We think that all these people that, and if you've ever talked to somebody, if you've ever chatted with somebody online and it's like a romantic thing, and then you go on to meet them, I don't know if that's a common experience for people. I think it is. You probably go onto one of those apps and find somebody. But my point is, you spend all this time in that app kind of, I don't know, sweet talking, pillow talking, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to treat you so good, babe, and I'm such a perfect gentleman, and everything's going to be great. I'm going to pick you up, and we're going to smile. I'm going to sweep you off your feet, and it's going to be awesome. And you're like, you maybe oh God, maybe talk a little dirty or something like that, right? But then as soon as you're in person with that individual, it's completely different. You're like, so how are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? Oh, not bad. And it's the most awkward interaction that you can possibly have. But why? Why? I'm not really sure. I think it's just that whole, see what I mean with this thing? It's amazing. But I think part of it is just that we're not used to anymore meeting with anybody in person. And so therefore, this awkwardness that previously only people like myself with autism and sociopathy, I'm antisocial personality disorder and I have social psychopathy or sociopath, right? So in the past, it was people just, like us that have, trouble with personal interactions one-on-one. And so now it's becoming like this societal thing. And I don't think that everyone suddenly has developed autism and antisocial personality disorder, right? What I do think has happened is that we've just, I don't know, it's like a use it or lose it kind of thing, right? And I think that since we've put lower priority on meeting people in person, because most of us spend most of our time online these days, I think that we prefer to have our interactions online because we have a persona, right? We have a personality that we exist within online, and going out in public doesn't really ever match with that. So the thing with incels is they're just so full of hatred because they don't understand that they don't have the social skills necessary to go out and meet somebody. Now, the sad part is you get quite a few of these people that become violent, okay? They get to the point where they're so upset by this situation in life that they just feel that they have to act out. And it's unfortunate because there's been a lot of kind of horrible crimes that have taken place. Like I said, I first referenced Alex Manassian. This guy, he rented a van, right? And then he went and ran over a bunch of people. Why? Well, because he said he was mad that the Chads were taking all the women. You know, like, I don't know. It seems a little interesting to me that, like, someone will be that upset with life and that upset with being a virgin that they just decide, screw it, I'm going to go out and kill a bunch of people. Why? Where does that disconnect happen? You know, like, I'm a virgin, I can't get any booty, and so therefore I have to go on a murdering spree in order to teach everybody a lesson. Well, guess what? Excuse me, I am so blocked up today from allergies. Yeah, well, guess what, incel? Going out and killing a bunch of people only succeeds in putting you away for the rest of time, right? So that your grand idea of having, you know, relations with all the Stacys, I guess is what they're called. You call them the Stacys. I think the problem is that you get this idea that you're gonna breed with all of them, but then you go do something violent, and oops, you're not gonna be able to breed with anybody except a big angry cellmate who's gonna find you cute, you know, something like that. I think people don't really think about the consequences of their hatred, right? And so I guess my message today that is, you know, we've explored what an incel is and why it's such an interesting concept. Wow, 2-shot in the head. We've explored what an incel is. We've explored kind of how they work and what they think. But the problem is I still don't understand. I still do not understand. Oh, come on, get him. Ooh. I still do not understand why it's such a big deal, right? Why they have this complete, you know, disregard for human life in favor of getting some booty, right? It's okay. Folks, I'm going to talk to those of you in the audience right now that are in fact virgins. And it's going to go like this. Don't worry about that. Okay? Don't worry about it. Stop worrying about something like that. Because the more you worry about it, the more it's going to become a big deal. And the more of a big deal it becomes, the more you're going to worry about it. Right? It seems like an interesting and yet very vicious cycle. And that's the thing about it. When you get into an echo chamber, especially if you're joining other people that have the same ideas as you get to the point where you self-confirm. You know, so you have this hatred and you say, damn these people that won't sleep with me. Well, okay. We're finally going to get to the issue that I think that stems for incels and why they can't, you know, find anybody to love, right? And it is this. They're genuinely horrible people inside. They're people that are full of hate and they don't know how to treat people correctly. And they think that because they've seen interactions online and that they've seen them in movies and television, they think that that's the way that people want to be treated, right? Shoot, come on. By the way, I have a Seeking Arrows mod on right now that makes all the arrows immediately headshot whoever's close. But the only problem is it works for them too, so they end up shooting each other a lot. Like, watch this. Ready? Watch this. Here it comes. Shoot it! That is amazing. But anyway, I think it's because incels are just genuinely hateful and ugly people. And hey, folks, guess what? Humans can suss out that stuff pretty fast, right? We can tell if someone's being all fake and full of bullshit. And, you know, especially when you're considering being with a person in terms of dating or something like that. And so you get this, you know, that people kind of just feel weird and spooky around you. And I think it's because you're just caught in that echo chamber, man. You're just caught in that kind of, I hate people because they won't like me. Well, Go out there with an attitude that says, screw it. Today, if I meet somebody, I meet somebody. If I don't, I don't. I go home, I play some World of Warcraft or whatever, and everybody loves each other, and no one has a big problem. And then we don't have any things with incels to worry about. Anyway, that's my blurb today. I hope you're not an incel. If you are, you're probably not watching. You're probably watching some workout video or how to get girls or something like that. But anyway, if you know someone that's an incel, let me know in the comments below. It's kind of an interesting topic, and it's something I'd love to explore with all of you. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one here on Orpheus Plays. Be good, do good, and treat yourself well because you deserve it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye!